Hey everybody, this is the LEGO NEXO Knights Berserker Bomber for year 3. And I think this is a set that manages to slightly undersell itself right from the start, because on the front of the box and in the main promotional picture for this set, they don't even show you that it includes a mech. Now, admittedly, it's a small mech. It's based on the power suit design and pieces, but it's a mech. You can't just forget about that completely. It's not something to brush under the rug. I think it actually looks decent, you know, with its color scheme and with a little bit of texturing for the parts. I like what the cannons look like with those tech infector bits still attached. Those are stud shooters, so each of those is intended to be fired off. I think it looks best with at least one of them still attached. You don't see any decorated elements here in terms of prints or stickers, but there actually is one sticker included. I'll show you that in just a second. I do want you to see what this looks like from around the back, though, because they did give it some actual build around the back, so it's not just completely open and unfinished back there. You can see that it can attach to something, and indeed you can attach things to it using that standardized system that they introduced about a year ago, which still works very well. But the decorated piece that they have is for a console inside this thing, so it's really only visible to the operator, but there it is. It's a sticker, but I think it looks nice. So overall, this is something that they probably should have shown on the front of the box. I think it deserves it. Then again, strictly speaking, it could be argued that they did show it on the front of the box in this form, where you just see the couple of shooters kind of extended out, and there's a little bit of extra added bulk on the main flyer here, the main bomber, but yeah, dude just gets attached right there. So that's how they've used the standardized attachment system here. Just comes off, so you kind of bomb with this guy, and I like how he gets posed, or how you can pose him that way. He has that kind of superhero thing, or G1 Transformers. Looks like he's just ready to fly off with some hidden thrusters. So that actually kind of works, integrates in well with the main thing. I think that the flyer itself, the bomber itself, does look better with that removed, though, because you get to see this nice shape that they've established for the tail, with not only the arch, the really wide archways that they've used there, but also all of the trans bright green bricks, the 2x4 bricks that they've integrated in there to make it look like a, I don't know, a power conduit or something. It's kind of futuristic. It's not something that you see all that frequently with that much transparent color used. I mean, a lot of light comes through there, even if you don't have a lot of light in your space, no matter what. It's, you know, using larger bricks like that rather than 1x1 side by side and such, or 1x2 side by side, just leaves you with more empty space for light to come through. So that's nice, and obviously they've used a lot of that trans bright green all around this thing. You might find it a bit strange that there are a couple of 6 stud shooters, one on either side, that are facing down. Well, it is a bomber, so you can look at that as your bombing function right there. Or you could also take advantage of those pretty obvious ratcheted hinge pieces and turn this stuff forward so you can use it kind of like a gunship for attack. You could just see it coming into, you know, a hovering kind of attack position like this. Fire forward, that's good. You can also bring these up to make the whole thing look a little bit more aggressive like that. I like that. Or just to kind of spread the bombs out a little bit, you know, do some more like carpet bombing instead of precision stuff. So a lot of things about the fundamental design here I think are good, the basic design. You can also do this for just another different look. Maybe even bring these back, try to get them like that. Yeah, that's interesting also. Kind of looks like it has horns that are sticking up. So there are different things you can do with this very simply that I like, that, you know, that change up the feel of the whole thing. I'm going to leave it like this for now. I think that's something like that. The minifig accessories attach, of course I'll show you those closer, but those attach out here. They actually add some detail to the thing. You've got the shield attached up here at the top. This is something that is removable, a winged eye that can just be flown around, has a new printed Technic ball piece there with the single eye in it, so that can be used as a scout, or possibly some laser could come out of its eye as well to use it as an actual attack piece. Canopy is somewhat open, around the sides, but I think still decently shaped. It's probably a good compromise to allow some space for the arms around the edges and such, and that just swings open. Got a couple of stickers on the sides there. A lot of stuff about this that I like. I think that it looks pretty cool on display. A little bit of mix of colors here, but not enough to bug me too much. I like these landing skids in the back with the old Borak eyes there. They're just at the perfect height. They don't work with the mech in place, but with the mech removed, they just give you that nice stable base. Since they use two of them rather than just one, there's actually more support, more lateral support from the tail than there is up at the front of the main fuselage. A lot of nice things were done with this. Not sure I agree with the use of the white on the underside there, but I get it. They do have white in the color scheme for the bad guys for this season. So, different choices could be made there, but that's what they went with, and I'm okay with it. Probably would have personally preferred just more black under there, but that's just me. A lot of interesting things with this. Of course, you can lift these open if you want to. I'm not sure if you want to see that as being a thing. Maybe some sort of shield projection or some sort of distortion field projection that can do some electronic warfare with this rather than just doing infection. Just project out some jamming fields or something. You can see them as radar. They could actually be sensors. You can really use your imagination for a lot of stuff, and then have physical counterparts to kind of the manifestations of those imaginative possibilities with this. This figure is the Berserker itself, and it comes with one NEXO power, the one NEXO power in the set, which is orbital strike, which really makes sense for the whole bomber motif. And it's fortunate that it was available in the bright green color, so it matches. They want to match. They don't want to have anything clashing for the defaults for these baddies for this season. But of course you can swap things out however you want. You can use orbital strike with the good guys if you want, and so on. But this is specifically a Berserker as set up. Let me take some of the stuff off. So indeed, the torso and legs are not exclusive to the Berserker, but he does have an interesting head with two unique faces on there. Looks like those are attachment points for either data or power on the sides of his face there. He looks like he's really, really troubled right now. And I like this alternate face too. Oh yes, I definitely like that quite very much. And I think that it opens itself up to being used for some custom figures based on other themes as well. The one other baddie in this set is a mecha biter, previously shown in the mech. And I think this is the most generic of the figures that you can get in this entire series so far from this side. But I think it still looks fine. The only thing that I don't like is the use of that double-sided face with this particular helmet with no other armor. So you immediately see plenty of the alternate face when you look at it from the back or even from the side. I think that alternate face itself looks good, and when you use it as the primary face, it works out perfectly well. But no matter what, you see something from the other side that you probably don't want to see. Did I show you the main face without the helmet though? Well, if I didn't, now I did. Macy is this set's NEXO Knights representative. She has a jetpack on, which can be reconfigured slightly. You can bring the jets forward and back, and you can also rotate each one up and down. It's actually important to rotate these up if you want this to be on the ground. You see by default the exhaust down there sticks beneath her legs, so if you want her to stand, then just put them to a point where the tails are just touching the ground. That actually helps with balance since she does have a large mace. Not one of the largest possible minifig weapons that that Lego does, but still fairly heavy, as is the shield. So it's nice to get a little bit of balance and to actually be able to have your minifig standing on its own legs, mostly. She does come with just a Murloc power, not a regular NEXO power, and that is the mace of Murloc. Naturally, the jetpack itself is able to come off pretty easily, so that's actually a good thing. It's its own little accessory pack. I think it's a fine build itself, but not the best looking of things. It's a little bit awkward to play around with, but at least she is able to get airborne with it. Let me take some more stuff off though. And there we go. That's what Macy actually looks like under there. So she does get the gold printing, which is a little bit thin, so it's not quite entirely shiny. Not as shiny as I would like, but still, depending upon how the light hits it, you will get a little bit of sheen. Just wish there was a little bit more than that, so you can see right about there. But yeah, that's the year 3, or at least season 5 version of her. Happy to get the print on the gold colored hip piece also. So that's the Berserker Bomber. I really like the bomber itself. I like how the mech gets integrated in. I like the mech itself, even though it's kind of simple. You can see on the front of the box that they do suggest this as a possibility for how to set up the Berserker. I showed it like this, which is the way that the helmet is normally used. Whichever way you prefer, you can go with. Kind of looks like it has one of those visors that some sci-fi things do, that just has a screen on the inside, almost a VR style of setup. But both of those are options. Yeah, I think just overall they've done a really nice job with the main build. I think that for its size, you get a lot of possibilities for what you can do with this. There's plenty of play value, and I think that it does look good just sitting on a shelf as well. So good combination overall. I think the weak point here is Macy herself and her jetpack, which is just a little bit, I don't know, flimsy and difficult to mess around with. Might have been nicer to get something a little bit more solid for her. And that's it for my look at the Berserker Bomber. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be talking to you again soon in my next video because it is in the works and on the way.